Hello my loves, and welcome back to another video. I'm Queena. This is my YouTube channel. This is my 2.5-month-old, and I love to talk about all things relationship, postpartum, healing, self-healing, all that kind of jazz. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to not lose yourself after giving birth, how to not lose yourself after having a baby, or if you did lose yourself, how to find yourself again. And I think this is one of those essential topics to talk about in postpartum, in this journey, because truly no one prepares you for the amount of things that happen when you're postpartum, after you've given birth to a baby, after you basically have given life, which means that it takes up a lot of life. And I feel like it's really amazing to have this conversation, to talk about it. And it's going to be more of a chit-chatty video, so grab your 3 drinks, because we all know we need water, matcha, and a tea or coffee or whatever it is that you're drinking. And let's get into it, because I did take some notes. Let me grab my phone. So in case you haven't given birth, this video is going to be perfect preparation for when you do. And if you have given birth and you're kind of in the process right now of finding yourself again, of, I guess, balancing out everything that has happened in the pregnancy journey, then this video is perfect for you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to get straight into it, because I know that you guys want the details. You want to talk about this. You want to know what is going on. You want to know the tea. So let me tell you. One of the first key elements that I wrote down is protect and keep your boundaries. This counts for both pregnancy as postpartum, as a mother, basically. Throughout the entire journey, it is essential that we protect our boundaries, because the moment that you let go of your own space, your own zone, your own bubble, I feel like that's the moment that you really start to lose yourself. I think a lot of people lose sight of what their boundaries are. So maybe initially, before you even give birth, write down what your boundaries are. Write down and get super clear on what it is that you do want and what it is that you don't want. And prepare yourself and prepare your partner for holding space for those boundaries that you have. And I think that for any of us that have given birth, I think that giving birth is one of those practices where we really get challenged to present our boundaries, to hold them, and to also allow other people to protect our boundaries for us and to hold them for us. I think that boundaries are one of those things that really allow us to protect our peace and our space. And in the journey of not losing yourself, protecting your space and your peace are also one of the most essential things. When you have this place where you feel safe, where you can feel expressed, where you feel comfortable, you essentially will always have kind of like a safety net that is going to catch you whenever you feel yourself slipping. So holding and protecting your boundaries, becoming aware of them, knowing what it is that you do want, knowing what it is that you don't want, is absolutely essential. Now, a second point in our journey of not losing ourselves is that self-care definitely has to come first. Down is protect and keep your boundaries. This counts for they forget to take care of themselves ever since they had a baby. But I think that once you have a baby, taking care of yourself actually becomes even more of a priority, because you have to set the standard, you have to set the example. Down is protect and keep your boundaries. This counts for both pregnancy as postpartum, as a mother, basically. Throughout the entire journey, it is essential that we protect our boundaries, because the moment that you let go of your own space, your own, and to still feel like a woman after you've given birth. I think that once we've given birth, it's easy for us to see ourselves just as moms, instead of seeing ourselves as moms and women and partners and, separate and together. Basically, I feel that there is this necessity, in a sense, for us to have more and more self-care. Sign up for Pilates classes. If you have the financial means and you have the opportunity, hire a nanny to maybe watch the baby. If your partner, for whatever reason, if he's working, he cannot, create this space. And even if you can't do that, honestly, put your baby in a little bouncer, put your yoga mat on the floor, take a moment there. in the morning, like for me, what I do whenever I have to take a shower, or I have to take a shower is what I call it, because it's a non-negotiable point for me. But when I do shower, I literally put her in the little bouncer. Down is while I'm showering, she's watching me and I'm taking a shower, and that's how we've done it all this time. So there is always going to be a possibility for you to be able to still feel good, take care of yourself. I really put in an effort to dress up nicely, to go for a walk, to really be mindful and intentional with the way that I am taking care of myself, because as a mother, obviously we are taking care of a little being, and that can sometimes take away time, energy from us taking care of ourselves. But I feel like it's really important to infuse our own lives with that place of self-care, because it's going to make you a better mother, a better partner, a better everything, and it will allow you to not lose yourself in the process of becoming a mom. This one is spicy, salty, and so important. Trust your intuition. I think that once we become a mom, Google becomes more intuitive than we are. Anyone else knows better than we do. But in reality, I feel that we have a felt like innate sense of what we have to do and what we shouldn't do as a mom. I also think that our intuition is something that we can practice, that we can tune into. And if we try to listen to our intuition every single day over and over and over again, we allow ourselves to trust ourselves more. And I think that the more that you trust yourself, the better your connection with yourself is. The more that you have this tight-knit connection, relationship type situation where you are putting yourself first and you are keeping yourself from losing yourself. So really deep dive into trusting your intuition, and this can also be strengthened by doing practices such as journaling and meditating, and just, you know, becoming more in tune with yourself and listening. Like whenever you have to make a decision, whenever you want to speak up, take a moment and think about what it is that you want to say, what it is that's going on in your mind. And don't just disregard everything that you're thinking as like, oh, I'm just being like, you know, nervous, or maybe, you know, you completely disregard it because you're simply like, I guess I don't really know what I'm talking about. You know what you're talking about. This is your baby. Trust your senses. And that being said, there are moments when we can be highly anxious and highly, you know, because of the hormones and everything. And I think that we also have an awareness there to know when we are being overly anxious and overly nervous and when we're not. And if you feel like maybe you can't have that sense anymore, or you don't have it after giving birth because of the hormonal influx that is happening, then perhaps it's good to seek out a medical professional, to talk to someone, you know. I mean, you can talk to your partner, you can talk to your friends, but if you're feeling like it's very severe, it's always good. I mean, I'm all for therapy, I'm all for talking to people, I'm all for getting help whenever we can't help ourselves. So that's another possibility whenever you feel like it's becoming a little bit too much and perhaps you can't tune into yourself anymore because it's just being overshadowed by so many feelings and thoughts and everything, that you do want to talk to someone who can help you become more in tune with yourself. Now, another key element here, and something that I live by this, is be honest with your partner. After you give birth to a baby, you're gonna go through so many feelings. And the women that have given birth to babies, you know what I'm talking about. You know that there is going to be an increase of all these odd feelings, all these odd senses that you never experienced before. And sometimes it's really easy in that process to forget to talk to your partner. You kind of internalize everything, you keep it to yourself, and you become this whole mountain of emotional waste. And instead of you confiding in the one person that is there with you, that is supposed to be your second pillar to hold your house together, you are relying solely on yourself. And I know that that kind of is a feeling that we get as mothers, that we have to do everything by ourselves. We're the mom, our baby relies on us, etc., etc., etc. That is at least my experience. But in confiding with your partner about whatever is going on for you emotionally, sometimes you're able to simply set those emotions free and not hold on to them any longer. So for instance, when I just gave birth, I came home and I had so many emotions. It was hard for me to bond with my baby. I had such like icky feelings because I just came out of the hospital. I didn't like my experience in the hospital. I had a birth that was not so traumatic, but definitely a little bit of trauma happening in that space. And I think that any birth, to be fair, can be a little bit daunting, and we can have some leftover like emotional feelings connected to it. And when I came home, I started to create the scenario in which I perpetuated this situation that came from my childhood in order to relive a traumatic experience that I had in my childhood, where I felt like there was not enough love. And because of that feeling and that trauma that I had, like I said, I started to create these situations in our household. And the moment that I opened up to my partner about this and I told him, like, this is what I feel is happening, and obviously I had to sit down and stop myself and really reflect, and bless my partner for being so reflective as well and so aware of what's going on in the situation. Like, he also sat me down and he was like, we don't do this. We talk to each other. You know, we are honest with each other about what is happening inside of ourselves. And that really allowed me to have a think for myself and say, hey, you know what, this is actually going on. I have some childhood trauma from before, and I'm creating this situation in which I'm, I guess, making myself believe that there's not enough love for all of us. And to come together in that moment, and this really allowed me to bond with my partner over this and to let go of that. Because the moment that I spoke it out, I realized this is so silly. You know, like, obviously we're a family. Like, there is going to be enough love for the both of us. And if I have enough love for both my partner and my daughter, then vice versa, he will have enough love for me and she will have enough love for me as well. Super, super crazy, obviously, and a little bit of a vulnerable share. But this, being honest with your partner, no matter what it is about it being heavy and hard and sometimes difficult and needing more help, like, be honest. If you need more help from your partner as well, if they can provide it, then there can be a space that can be created, or otherwise maybe you guys can find outside help and other people that can help you in the household. And be honest with your friends as well about what's going on inside of you and that journey. And I know that sometimes it can be difficult, especially if friends don't have babies yet and they haven't been through this experience, but there's at least that factor of trying involved that perhaps will make you feel a lot more connected to yourself and your truth. Now, this one might feel a little bit counterintuitive to most of us, but let yourself be freaking lost. Honestly, in the whole journey of giving birth and being pregnant and becoming a mother and all of that, you are allowed a period of grace. A lot of shit happened. You literally pushed the whole human being out of your vajayjay. Now, what I mean by that is not like get totally swept up in everything and just like go months and months and months without feeling connected to yourself and let it be like that. What I mean by that is allow yourself space to rest. Allow yourself to sometimes not know for a little bit. Allow yourself to refamiliarize yourself with the current state of living and what that looks like and what it feels like. Allow yourself to connect with your baby. This is obviously a new experience, so you're going to feel a little bit lost. You're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing, and that is completely fine. We are all going through that in the first moments after giving birth to a baby. A little human who we're just getting to know, who's just getting to know us, and going through this entire journey should be something that you allow yourself to do without so much resistance. I think that after that period of allowing yourself to be lost, and for me this was like the initial 2 weeks after giving birth, I really said to myself, read books, be in bed, calm the fuck down. Like, I tend to be someone who is an overachiever and that is just like doing, going. After I let myself have that period of being lost, I started to investigate. What are the things that really make me like sparkle, that make me happy, that bring me joy? What were those things before? Let me try them again and see if I still resonate with them in the same way as I did before. And when you really take a moment to do that, and when you allow yourself to investigate what is it that brings you joy, and you start to reintroduce those things into your life. And for me, that was, you know, like having a yoga practice. And if I don't have like 30 minutes, I used to do like hour-long yoga practices. Now I do, you know, 5 or 15 minutes, whatever I can do that day, and let that be enough. But make sure to investigate what it is that brings you joy. If it's fashion, if it's working out, movement, etc., do more of those things. I started to go for coffee with my friends and go to little cafes, and that's something that truly makes me feel so good. It's one of the littlest things, but when I go to the center, I go to town, I go to a little cafe, I have a little drink, I talk to my friends, I feel like a new human being. And I feel like the people that I have around me really invigorate me with this creative energy and potency, and I just feel so much better after I do that. So even though it was not convenient because I had to bring the baby because my partner was working away on the boat, I would put her in the stroller, I would hop on the bus into town, which is like 20 minutes on the bus, and I would go for a little drink with my friends. And after I did that, I started to feel so much more like myself, or even like cleaning the house, like vacuum cleaning, or baking something. And there are so many things that can bring you joy and that you can implement into your daily life to feel like you find your sparkle again. And I guess you can start to refer to things that used to give you joy, try them out, see if you still like them. If you don't, disregard whatever. But if you do, then you can start to reintroduce those things into your routines. And if there are maybe no things that you like from your previous life, then you can start to investigate new things, maybe pottery or Pilates or whatever it is, walks or rollerblading. So allow yourself to have that space there as well. I guess that ties into my next point, which is create, experience, enjoy, go for walks, listen to podcasts, etc., etc., etc. The joy can be found in so many activities. Daily walks with baby are a must. To just, even if you don't go for a walk, if you have a balcony or you have a window, open the window, hop on the balcony, and just be there, watch the sunset, especially if you're not sleeping very well, watching the sunrise, superior experience. I feel like when you're a bit sleep deprived and you're like, why am I doing this? What is going on? And you go and you look at the sunrise, you feel so much more grateful for that moment. And a daily walk a day keeps the depression doctor away. Let me tell you that. Fresh air helps. Creation, painting, reading, etc. Finding inspiration helps. Speaking of helping, that kind of ties into my last point, which is ask for help. As a Capricorn, overachiever, CEO, boss mom, wife, all the types of things, I take credit for not always asking for help when I need it. But one thing that I've learned in postpartum, in pregnancy, is that asking for help is so essential. Try to really allow yourself, and especially when people are offering, take the help. I know that sometimes it can be hard to ask for help when someone isn't offering, but there will be some people who will be offering help, and if they do, allow yourself to receive. You receive the help. You deserve that. You deserve receiving everything that you need after just giving birth to a baby. So allow yourself to receive the meals. Allow yourself to have someone just come and tidy up and not feel a requirement to host, entertain, or any of those things. You are resting. You're in a period of refinding yourself, of rediscovering what you like. And sometimes we need a little hand with that. And you can even ask people like, oh, what do you feel like was something that I was known for before? And not to reminisce or to kind of get lost in like this old version of yourself, but to see if you can rediscover that part of yourself and find joy in that again. Hi. If you haven't felt like you are allowed to receive help in this time, let me tell you that you absolutely do. And if you are postpartum right now, or you're going to be postpartum soon, just know that you are a freaking powerhouse. I bow down to you in reverence to all of the beautiful things that you're currently creating or that you have created in the form of a tiny little human and so much life. I know that in the end you will find that joy again, that you will re-find whatever brought enjoyment to you in your daily life, that you're gonna feel like a new person, you're gonna feel better than you ever have before. And kind of, for me, in my experience, like an upgraded version of myself in this moment. I feel more womanly, I feel more feminine, I feel like there's nothing that I can't do, because if you can give birth, you can pretty much do anything. So trust that you're gonna find your way back, you're gonna find your path. If there are any more questions that you guys have, for whatever reason you want to connect, you want to talk more about these kinds of things, I am so open to having conversations with other moms or to-be moms and to talk about these things. Like, in these moments, we need community, we need to connect, we need to be closer than ever, and I want to be close to you guys. Please get in touch, let's have conversations, and if you have any more questions, comment down below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos about this. I do vlogs, how-to videos, etc. We're going to talk about relationships, motherhood, all the things, consciousness, and so much more. I love being here with you guys, and thank you so much for being here with me. Sending you guys love, and see you in the next video.